Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Tarot Tuesday with Miss Aurora Styles. How are you all doing? Hope you've had a fantastic week. And as usual, let's take a few deep breaths. Ground and center ourselves. And let's light our lamp. And as we light this lamp, we call in the beautiful spirits, the good spirits, the spirits who wish to communicate with us, to guide us with clear communication, clear vision. Let them open our roads to the most fantastic possibilities this week has to offer. All right, now let's get started. It's October 1st, so I'm using one of my favorite decks. I look forward to it all year. The Jack-o'-lantern Tarot. That's what the box looks like. I love it. So let's focus on what it is that we are seeking any information on. What is it that we're looking for guidance on? Let our spirit guides communicate with us. Let them open our eyes, our ears, and our hearts. Let us open our hearts to receiving this wisdom. I always cut the cards in 3 stacks going to the left. And I pick them up with my left hand too. All right. The 9 of Swords. This is in the past. So this week has been challenging for a lot of us, but we're letting that all go. Also, I think there was some solar flares going this week that have affected how we sleep. I think solar flares affect us as well at the nighttime because the sun is still the sun, whether it's in our hemisphere or not. Sleepless nights, odd dreams, working while we're asleep, just something that's been like gnawing at us, hardships, trauma, stress, depression. This week was triggering for a lot of people, but it's in the past. So we're letting that all go. Ooh, the Knight of Wands. I feel like the Knight of Wands has been coming up in almost every reading. I think he came up in last week's as well. The Knight of Wands in the place of the present. So what it is that we need to tap into now, the energy that we need to draw into us, to pull into us, so that we can move forward from the past, get into your creativity, get into your inspiration. Who are you? Who is the artist inside of you? Pull them forward. Let them all go. Run. Have fun. Permission to tap into that creativity. What are the projects that you've been wanting to do, but you haven't been? For whatever reason, time to get into that. Reconnect with that passion that's inside of you. Reignite that fire, that heart fire, that magical fire within. The knights are cards of movement. So they're telling us to move forward, to stay in motion. Does it matter what happened in the past? Does it matter? Let us move forward. Get into it. The Six of Cups. The Six of Cups. Community. Get into the community. It's a card of friendship. So if there's anyone that you've been wanting to hang out with, that's been on your mind, reach out to that person. But also become friends with you. Because this year has been so hard for many of us, we can lose sight of who we are and what it is that we can bring to the table. So I'm reading this as mostly as a card of us, becoming friends with us. That place of kindness and beauty. And remember, the cups are emotions. So the cups are the heart. They're our intuition, how we communicate. The swords are also communication, but it's like heart communication. The artist. Get in touch with that intuition and the artist within. Write, dance, whatever it is, get into it. Get into your craft. Because that's going to be what propels you forward. Getting in touch with that inner magician. And it's October 1st, so it's a good time for that. We're going into the season of the witch. What does that mean? The veils are thinning. It's the final harvest. So whatever it is that we've kind of wanted to do this year, now's the time to do that. Move forward, connect with that inner passion, that inner flame, because the fire is in our blood. So reignite that fire. Become friends with yourself and touch base with that. Does that make sense? The Six of Cups is also reuniting with people from the past. Now, let's see if this is a good thing or not. Should we reunite with these people? The Chariot. The Chariot. The Chariot is also a card of moving forward, and you're in control of the ride. So it's up to you. So if somebody's coming back for like what I call a comeback tour, is this somebody that you want to welcome in? Maybe they're in the past for a reason. Sometimes they can come back because it's time to reunite. So it's up to you. Use your intuition. We don't want to repeat cycles. I'm going to keep going. The Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is fresh starts and new beginnings in the ways of the romance, friendships, intuition, the cups that run overflowing with love and abundance of creativity, that creative spark, new relationships, new beginnings, new way of seeing things in the ways of love. What does love mean? Love for ourselves, love for each other, love for community. I think it's a good time for us to reconnect with our community. What is the roles that we can play? What can we contribute to the communities around us that we are a part of? Chosen communities, magical communities, dance communities, artist collectives. I'm feeling a lot of art right now, a need for people to express. And a need for people to just release, and it's okay to cry, and it's okay to create, and create without editing. Just, just create whatever's inside here that's keeping us awake. Let it out. Let it out so that we don't carry it into the coming year. I feel like it's also slow down. Slow down and listen. Listen to yourself, and listen to your ancestors and your spirits. Listen, chill, create. Um, okay. I think this reading went in a few different directions. I do tend to read more intuitively. I think of the cards as like a map, but a lot of it I just like comes, if that makes sense. I do more like um, I just listen, and I'm just the vessel. Essentially, I'm just the vessel, and um, today seems to be one of those days for sure, where they were just kind of talking and coming in different directions. So, okay, um, I'm gonna have a sip of my coffee. My Hocus Pocus cup. Okay, well, I hope that reading was informative. I was a lot coming, at least on this end. But yeah, I don't know. Touch base. Leave me a message in comments. I want to hear if this resonated with any of you. Um, like I said, sometimes it doesn't make sense to me, but it makes sense to you all or whoever it is that I'm reading for. So that's what's important. So yeah, I think I'm going to continue with this video though. I'm not going to stop and do another one. So you guys like stories. So I was thinking about like what stories do you want to hear? What about me, or how I got into drag, or into the mysticism and all that. So I think I'm just going to go back into the past. And I was thinking about what was the very first piece of drag that I ever acquired. And it was a witch's hat that my grandmother bought me when I was probably like 6. And I was obsessed with witches and vampires. Um, Nothing's really changed. And Halloween is absolutely my favorite holiday, and always has been. It was my grandmother's favorite holiday too. She loved decorating for it and was really encouraging of, well, really everything. So she bought my first witch's hat, and it was a little controversial in my house, but I loved it. And that was the first piece of drag. Now I was thinking about like what was the first like iconic, powerful woman or feminine figure that like rocked my world and really inspired me. And I think it was the queen from Snow White, because she was so just beautiful and imperious, and the way she carried herself, and she knew magic, and she could transform herself into things. And oh, I just loved her. And the way the voice actress um, like vocalized her was just fabulous. And of course, Maleficent was just, I loved her. I still do. Also beautiful and glamorous. And Eleanor Audley, the way she did her voice, and also was the voice, I think she did Maleficent, but she definitely did the voice for Madame Leota in the Haunted Mansion. But I think she was Maleficent also. And Vampira, who's also one of my idols, but Vampira, I believe, modeled for the artists, because the eyebrows and the chiseled cheekbones. I think was also I think she was an inspiration for them when they were creating the character art. She might have even gone in to do live like movement shots, but anyway, getting sidetracked. Um, and of course, the Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz. Loved Margaret Hamilton and the Wicked Witch of the West. The Hat. Oh, she was fantastic. Lots of villains. Villains are really, I love villains. They're the most um, usually well developed characters. And of course, Elvira. Like I said earlier in the last video, just nobody does it better. Susie Sue later on. But in like those early formative years, it was absolutely the Wicked Queen from Snow White, Maleficent, Elvira, and the Wicked Witch of the West. Yep. And Count Dracula and Vincent Price. So, yeah. Hope that answered some questions, and ask me questions too, because I don't know. What do you want to know? Let me know. If you want a reading, message me. We can work that out too. And that's welcome in the new moon, because the new moon is tomorrow. So it's a time to call in abundance, call in inspiration, call in blessings. Seeds do you want to plant that you would like to see grow throughout this next month? Do your road opening, take your road opening baths. Oh, yes, light your orange candles, get that juju going. Welcome in the season of the witch. I'm going to talk about ancestor altars in the next Miss Aurora's A Mystic Moment. And I think I'm going to do that this coming week. I'm still writing it. So, yes, see you soon. Bye bye.